Jointlocks series is I've got about 17 joint locks. I'll quickly run through those. These are simple, as I said. Never go to a joint lock unless and until you have them completely messed up. A joint lock is a kind thing to do to someone. It's something where you can immobilize people and submit them if you're really not wanting to hurt them. Okay, the beginnings of the joint lock in our series, and just stand natural and I'll just move you where I want you, is a basic wrist lock. Okay? Now, I don't like the one-handed. I've thought about eliminating it, but it still has applications. The next will be the classical. There you go, just stand beside me. On the classical, I'm going to go with two hands and down. Okay. The next would be the front wrist lock. On the front wrist lock, I'm going to take the hand, force it into my sternum or chest, and then lock it here. Now, see what I'm doing is I've got my thumbs on the back, my fingers here on the knuckles. I've created a little window here that I'm looking at. See how my arm's underneath it. Okay? Now, the rear wrist lock, not one of my favorites as well, but it is worth teaching. On a rear wrist lock, you're going to take your opposite hand and put it directly on the hand that they've got. I'm going to take this and move them. As I move them here and tuck this in, I'm going to go ahead and twist that back and twist it in. And then grab this shoulder. And that's a rear wrist lock. Elbow up wrist lock. The elbow up wrist lock, and any of these, I always tell people, I said, learn to do them on both sides, because you never know which side you're going to be on. And they're all, you know, you need to be able to do it on the right hand, on the left hand, you know, do it with your right hand and with your left hand. A elbow up wrist lock, you're going to go ahead and come inside and move them to a position like this, pushing forward. At the elbow, pulling up and pulling back right there. They're very excruciating. Okay.
Can I ask, at any of those times of those, would it be smart to take the legs out?
Yeah.
To take them to the ground?
Absolutely. All right, I'll tell you what, once I get them in a joint lock, I can make them lay down, I can make them stand up, I can make them flip over.
I don't really need to flip over.
I really don't. I can put enough pressure on it to where I can then say, okay, you're going down. And you just move them where you want them. Okay. Joint locking is all about controlling and making a person do what you want them to do. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, fist wrist torque is one of the easiest joint locks in the martial arts. A fist wrist torque will just be either hand, you bring it up like this. With this hand, I'm going to slap. You can do it with just pressure, but I believe that the good way to get it to them is slapping it there and then driving it through their hip. Wrist lock. Once again, either hand, and what you want to learn to do is be able to take somebody with either hand. This time I'm going to go to this side because the camera, I think, will catch us better. You're going to pull this into your chest and then back. Now, once you get this locked, you can also twist them and get a little bit extra out of it by just twisting these muscles. What you do is on that is I'm taking this part of the hand and forcing it against my chest. Your bar is actually right here. The bar hammer lock. Okay, the bar hammer lock is effectuated one of two ways. Okay, if I'm going to put the bar hammer lock on this side, I'm going to put the same side arm in at the in between his rib cage and his arm. I'm gonna do it this side since we're here. And so what I'm doing, I'm gonna go right here, okay? Then my elbow's gonna drop almost to his wrist. As it does, I'm gonna cup the back of his bicep. Then I'm gonna move, turn, and wrap him up. Okay?
Good way for the bouncer to get the bad guy out of the bar.
Yeah. Okay? It's an easy way to do it. All you do is you start here, you drop, this goes as a bicep. You want to keep this right here so that you can easily get that arm to turn. And then twist. Okay, the next ones are pretty easy. Let's step back just a little bit, give more room. Either way you go about it, I'm gonna go to this side. I want you to think now about being a snake and about coiling around someone's arm. And you're gonna do this on several of these. But what I wanna do is move to a front arm bar. And the way I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna wrap. This hand goes on top of the shoulder, this arm goes underneath the elbow, and you simply lean back in order to effectuate it. Okay. The easiest to use, most assured joint lock in all of martial arts will be over the shoulder arm bar. It's done simply by ready? Now, if it's going to be with that hand, same way. Okay.